Orange County, California. Awesome. Thanks
That's
for.
where I'm moving to in a couple weeks. Can't wait to be
Are you
back.
really?
Yeah, I like Texas, but I also like Orange County. I like the weather and the opportunities and the people, the network. So there's just a lot out there.
Are you gonna keep your house in Texas?
I might flip it.
Oop, are you
I
there,
don't know.
bud?
We'll see what's up? There's a lot of demand for the area,
Because
Matt.
there's a bunch of there's a bunch of realtors on this call who might want to list that property for you.
Yeah.
Don't bombard Gallant with calls, okay? He doesn't. He's gonna figure it out himself. He knows a lot of agents. Yeah, let us know where you guys are coming in from as we begin the webinar. Jake, are we live on Facebook? We're live. All right, sweet. Thanks, guys. Hey, I'm Nick Baldwin, co-founder of Lab Coat Agents. I'm not going to take too much time introducing myself, but I've got a special guest, Gallant Dill, entrepreneur, CEO of USA News. He is here with us. Jake, that's awesome. Thank you for doing that. Say, hey, Gallant, what is happening?
Thank you, man, for having me here. I'm just relaxing. The weather's good here in Texas. So I'm excited to share all of this gold with all these realtors on the call today. I think we have a lot of really cool stuff we're going to be covering that's going to help them with their business. So thanks for having me.
100%. We're going to talk a little bit about AI today and why agents need to be leveraging it. And every day, more and more products come out. And, there's really only a handful of them that are just super simple to use. And there's only a handful of them that you actually should be using. There's some great video ones. But we often, when we talk about video, we often get lost in that and we forget the importance of using AI to write blog posts. We're not blogging like we used to, and that's understandable because blogging takes talent to know how to write something that flows with a beginning, middle, end. It also takes up a lot more time, editing, grammar, all of those things that we're terrible at. But with AI helping us write blogs, it significantly enhances a real estate agent's chances of going viral in the local real estate news, because even though physical print might be coming, might be taking a nosedive, articles online are still prevalent than ever
Well,
before.
question,
So
Nick,
let's go through. Yeah, go ahead.
and just to back you up on that, before you do anything in life, hire somebody, go eat at a restaurant, you're looking them up on Google. You can't just go find a newspaper from, to find
True.
information on them. So having blogs, having articles is going to be the number one way moving forward because nobody's going to hire you, nobody's going to eat at your restaurant, nobody's going to visit you unless they look you up first. So it's good to control that narrative. So I'm just backing everything up you just said.
Yeah, well, that was actually going to be the very first thing I was going to bring up, search engine optimization. So, like you said, when someone goes online to search for a restaurant or even search for a real estate agent, this is why it's so important to have articles that you've written. It's so important to have reviews on the websites that lots of people are visiting because Zillow, Realtor.com, Homes.com, all of those come up right at the top. And if you have anything that's well written on those websites or any other website that gets high traffic in general, it's going to show up on the first page. So let's talk about SEO as being one of the main reasons why AI is super important. Um, AI tools can help you customize your blog content for search engines by identifying and incorporating the right keywords, phrases, and structures that align with what local prospects are searching for. So that is a big pain point for agents, understanding keywords, understanding phrases that Google likes, don't you think?
100%. And remember, like people think, oh, I'm just going to get $1 million listing. That's not true. For me, right now, I'm about to list my house. It's $5 million. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look up who sold houses like mine, who knows what they're talking about. If I look you up and there's nobody singing your praises, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to pass you. And the same for anything else. Before I buy a new pair of shoes, before I buy a new phone, a watch, I'm looking up the reviews. And if there's not a lot of good things being said, then I'm going to go to the product or service where the good things are being said. And so the same works for real estate agents. And a lot of people don't realize that. is that your competition is on every magazine. Your competition looks like $1 million. And I hate to say it, we live in a society where people follow the followed. They want to use the person that is all over the place. They don't want to showcase a realtor that nobody's ever heard. They want to be able to brag about who they just hired. And the first place that start is SEO and when people look you up.
Dude, 100% couldn't have said it better. Another reason why it's so important to use AI is, listen, let's just be honest. It's smarter than us. Like, maybe not smarter than us, but it can spit out so much information on a page in such like a quick way, right? Like, obviously we have knowledge and we can sit down and we can type it all out, but AI can analyze vast amount of data on local market trends, buyer behavior, buyer preferences to create highly personalized, relevant content. And it
AI
can,
turns hours of writing into seconds, hours
there
of
you go.
research into seconds. I always tell people with AI and what it can spit out in 12 seconds is more than I could put together in 12 hours. And so it skips the hard part for us.
Dude, 100%. It can tailor content to meet specific interests and needs of a local audience, right? And real estate agents can increase their engagement and shareability by making blogs that are more
And
likely
on
to
top of
go
that, real
viral.
estate
So
agents are very busy people. They got a million calls. They don't have time to research what's hot. They don't have time to write stuff every single day. With AI, these tools have really simplified it to where you can limit having to hire more staff and save more time, right? Like there's all sorts of cool apps where I'm just like, man, I don't need this employee, right? This proposal can be created in 30 seconds. This thing can do a listing in 5 seconds, right? So it's just technology is replacing a lot of that manual hard work and bringing more time for you to prospect and to close more sales.
totally, totally. Jake, the offer is $7 for 14 days. We'll get into that later. He just private messaged me. So that was a message to Jake. Don't even worry about it. All right. It can also keep you consistent with your quality and your creativity. And when you are super busy, like a super busy agent, it can be very hard to continuously bang out high quality and creative pieces of news. So AI can help you produce high quality, creative, consistent uh, content consistently with the ability to generate informative and engaging articles, market analysis, property descriptions, etc. And this consistency and quality and creativity will help build a strong brand presence that attracts more attention. The better something is written, the more it's going to get read, the more it's going to get shared. And sometimes we just don't have the descriptive words at our fingertips like AI does.
And it'll put you up on
Let's
the
jump
rankings
into
of
the
Google.
last two here. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
No, I say so the better it's
Yes,
written, the
exactly.
further Google will push you up and the easier it will be to be found. And so we're going to be showing you some cool stuff here in a minute where we're outranking sites like Facebook with AI articles and the tools we're going to show you. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, let's just wrap it up with this one, efficiency and productivity. So we've talked about this. It can help you save time by automating the content creation process. AI will allow real estate agents to publish blogs more frequently without compromising on quality. See, that's the thing. When you're a human being, you're going to start to get lazy if you feel like you have to write so many blogs and articles. You're going to start to get lazy. Your content's going to drag. It's going to start taking a nosedive. It's not going to keep the audience engaged. You're not going to be staying top of mind. So, these frequent, timely updates about local real estate markets can capture the audience's interest and increase likelihood of a viral blog. So what we're going to show you guys today is we decided to partner with Gallant on this product called Viral Agent. And we're just going to show you that Viral Agent is made specifically for realtors. Like, it's not just a blogging platform, it's a blogging platform made for real estate where you can create blogs about your listings, about
Here,
closings,
here's what I
local
tell
housing
everyone.
markets.
Viral Agent, guys, is a tool that you can write a viral news story about your team, about yourself, about your listings, about your closings that gets put out to the news within hours on thousands of sites. So Google News, it starts going everywhere. And the reason this is important is that every single thing you do as a real estate agent, you need to make an announcement for it because they don't know what's going on internally. And there's a lot of real estate agents that are crushing it, but they're not getting the edification. And even if you're not crushing it, you still want to make it look like you're crushing it if you want to get some of those higher end clients. So with this tool, we've simplified blogging, press releases, viral news stories, and we put it into one place where you type in just a few words or just copy and paste some information from your listing. And the software will not only write out the entire article, it will also let you publish it. And it guarantees that you'll go viral, meaning that your story, blog, update will make it to hundreds of thousands of sites within 24 hours or less. So it basically takes all of your article writing, all of your blogging, all of your public announcements and advertising dollars and puts it into one place for a much fractional of the cost that you're used to paying. And it does everything you need. So you don't have to sit there writing, publishing, or hiring a marketing company that's going to take 10,000 a month from you.
Sharon Scott in the chat asked a great question. She heard that Google knows if you're using AI and they'll lower you in the quote Google world.
Well,
Well,
let me
let me
just show you. Let me just show you. You tell me.
well, real quick,
Mhm.
I'm just going to tell you what Google says. Google does not automatically lower rankings for AI generated content solely based on the fact that it's AI. The key factor for Google when it comes to ranking content, including AI content, is the quality and relevance of the content itself. So just because it's AI doesn't mean that you're going to be lowered in the rankings. If it's AI and it's not timely and relevant, then yeah. But if it's AI and it's really well written and it's engaging and people like it and they're clicking on it and it makes sense and it's timeless, then no. So I hope that answers your question. It gets treated just like any other piece of
And I would
information.
love to show everybody in real time proof that it doesn't do anything. Like the AI is not going to damage or hurt you. I have a client
Yeah.
that's only been a realtor for 3 months, and when you just type in her name, the second thing down right under LinkedIn and how she's the best real estate agent in Austin, right? So imagine you're new, you're trying to build credibility, and now when someone looks you up, the second thing down for your name, beating out your Facebook page is an article in a news site, a reputable news site, saying that you're one of the top real estate agents bringing your services to Austin. When 4 months ago you didn't even have your license. And so I can, with this tool, virtually make you into a credible real estate agent and get you more listings, get you more traffic, and build you more credibility and dominate your marketplace. And it doesn't matter if it's AI written or
Love
not,
it, dude.
the tool will push you up and you'll still be published on the news. And these news sites have a partnership with Google to where they publish and it goes to Google News so that it gets that maximum placement power.
Well, you should be able to share your screen now, Gallant, if you want to
Okay, cool. I'll show them
show
right
us
now.
how Viral
So
Agent
here's a prime
works.
example of what I'm talking about, guys. Is you type in her name, right? My friend's mom, great lady. She's amazing. I didn't tell her I was going to be shouting her out on this call, but I wanted to show you in real time. If you used to Google search her name prior to 3 months ago, nothing about real estate came up, right? She wants high-end clients. She started publishing with our tool here. And if you just type in her name, the second thing down after LinkedIn is her article on USA News, and that came from Viral Agent. So our AI was able to write this
Wow.
and get this published on usanews.com. And not only that, but she wanted to do it again and update it. And here's another one USA News published about her. This is literally just, about a month or two ago. And these are the first things that show up in the top 10 things when people look her up. But let's say, put yourself in your client's your perspective, right? Before I hire Yvette, I'm going to go and Google search her, right? Because I got a $3 million property. Do you think that I'm going to be a lot more comfortable about giving her my listing when the second thing down is USA News saying it's Austin's top real estate agent? And what's crazy is that it only took her 12 seconds to get this article written. She logged into her account. She went and did a post news update and she just wrote a little bit on herself. She copied and pasted it from her website, copied and pasted what she specialized in, and then some of her interests. It generated, and then she uploaded a photo within 12 seconds, And by the next day, she's getting placed in stories like this on USA News and all over the country on other news sites, local and national. That way, she gets penetration in all markets from people that are moving in from out of state and people that are leaving, right? So there's a lot of opportunity here because there is no time delay and that the SEO from the AI is unmatched, right? Like this is the second thing down when you just
Dude,
type in her name. You're
that
not
is
even
such a
typing in
great
realtor,
example.
right?
You didn't have to type in realtor. You just said type in her name. That is
Yeah.
such a
And
good
if you
example.
type in realtor, it's the first thing. It's beating out
There you
HAR,
go.
it's beating
Wow,
out
dude.
realtor.com, right? These articles and these updates and are in the top one and top 10 placements. So it works for everybody. And like I said, she's a brand new real estate agent. So for people that are seasoned, this is great too, because it just adds more credibility, boosts you up. And then inside of these articles, you can put your contact information, you can put your phone number, you can put your YouTube videos. That will push those up in the rankings too and help you dominate in other places you're marketing.
Dude, I mean, you can't even get a better example than that. That is sick.
So, like example, like this is a story of your listing. Let's say that you're a real estate agent, you want to get more exposure on your listing, right? You can come in here, put the information, copy and paste. AI will write it. If you don't want AI to write you to get it published, you can skip that, right? And just click here and skip generator. But this is what it would look like. So this is on a national level. But some of you are like, well, USA News isn't really going to help with my local. Well, it's on local and national, right? So here's an example of Houston. That's where he's at, right? So here's an example of the article making it to a local news station. And that's what's cool is that every story you publish and every update you give is going both local, national, and it's going on Google within 24 hours. So you have a team update, you expanded your team, have a new person you just brought in, you have a closing, closed in 9 days. Here's another example, right? And then, here's an example of it locally. And so you need to be shouting out, you need to be dropping tidbits of the market. You want to be seen 24/7. And what's crazy is that each one of these sections here and each one of these types of stories and articles only takes 12 seconds to write. So anyone on your team can come in and publish these stories for you. And every week, every month, whatever you feel comfortable, maybe even every day, if your team's big enough, that's what's great about this tool. And it's very easy to use and log in. There's nothing crazy here. You come in here and I'll show you how fast, if you want, Nick, I can show them how fast we can generate a story. You can
Yeah,
even send
do
me
it.
one of your listings and I'll do it right now.
Let's do, you know what? Let's do viral news because that's easier. So let's just do like because I think a lot of agents would
Nick, what's your
a
website?
lot
I'll
of
show them
agents
how
would
quick we can put together a story. Watch this.
oh, all right. Oh shoot, what's it called? It's Essex. Wait, hold on. It's I haven't been to my
Put in
own
the chat.
website.
And I'm going to show you guys how fast I can create and publish a viral story on Nick.
Okay, I'm getting it to you. Hold on a second.
It's crazy. It's super easy to use, guys. I'm not much of a writer. And then USA News has the new updated badges. If you click here and download, it's still at 2023, but the new ones just came out for 2024. So you can snag one of these, put it on your website. It's included with the Viral Agent subscription. But I love it because I have some friends that are real estate agents, and when I would Google search them, nothing would come up. Like even with Kyler here, like let me see if these come up for him. This is another
Here, let
example.
me give you. Here, I'm gonna drop this to you real quick. Here.
He just switched his office, and literally in the top 10 searches, he's right here just for his name. So let me look in the chat and let me show you guys how fast we can create one. All right, so this is his website. We can see that here, right? Let's go and create a viral news article. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is it's just asking 3 questions, right? Let me move all this out of my way so I can see it. Agent background. So let's go and copy his about me so we can see it. Team. All right. So Nick is right here. And so I could literally just copy and paste this on Nick, right? And what I can do is it says that he specializes
Oh my God, who's that
in,
guy?
yeah. Um, it specializes in,
Just
do
say
you,
that I
do you,
specialize in like luxury properties or whatever.
okay, let's just put luxury property then. I'm gonna
Oh,
edit
okay,
this because you can
yeah.
edit it. Luxury property. Did I even spell luxury? It'll pick it up. It doesn't
Yeah, there
matter.
you go.
Property.
It'll fix
And
it.
then your hobbies, I'll just put in here
Just say like juggling.
juggling. I'm gonna just
My
say
hobby. Nick
likes
loves to
to vote
juggle.
on the weekend and go to church, right? We're just gonna do that.
There you go.
And then I'm gonna click this and I'm gonna hit generate.
Perfect. There
And
you
if
go.
you don't want to use like something that it writes for you can go ahead and just hit skip and it'll literally you can just write it yourself. A lot of
Yeah.
people will reach out and say, "Hey, I
Well, you
don't
want to know
want
it's
this."
cool because I'm on Google because I'm all over Google. I've asked ChatGPT to give me a bio of myself, and it's actually pretty accurate.
So look, it just now all he needs to do is come in here and put his contact information, but it went ahead and wrote a whole story. Nick Baldwin, award-winning real estate agent with a flair for acting and boating, right? And so all we would do here is, I didn't even know you're an actor. Are you an actor?
I act like I know how to sail a boat.
All right, there you go. So, this I'll
Man,
probably
that is
update this photo
yeah.
sooner than later, Nick, myself, but I don't have a photo of you. So I'm gonna just take that one and I'm gonna upload a new
Oh
one.
geez. Pre-beard.
And you could upload this photo so whatever you want. So I'll just come in here and use this one and submit. So I could preview the article. So let me actually go back what I submitted so I can save and then submit. And so now it goes to a publisher and they can literally, if there's any,
Oh, don't
they're going
publish
to river
that.
check it, but you could also, view the preview of what it looks like and you can change it in real time. So this is what that blog would look like. Obviously, we don't have his information in here. And obviously, I'd probably put a better picture and maybe change the headline a little bit. But this is now going out to an entire syndicate of thousands, hundreds of thousands of news sites, local, global, and national, so that it's touching basically every point that you can hit. It's going to go to his local area. It's going to go to the national. It's going to have some international. The reason for this is because there are people searching for real estate opportunities from China, from Australia. So our goal is to penetrate
Oh
every
yeah.
market. So within 2 to 4 hours, if this article didn't have anything like misspelled, we have an AI, it picks it up, then it gets approved. And he then gets a report that he would just go into his backend, right? So you just go back into here,
Here, I
view all
just
the
here,
real
look,
estate.
I just dropped the report link for you.
Okay.
So if you wanted to
So,
just click on it.
and so it'll show you how many views once it's published. So let me go ahead and click
Oh
on
God, don't
Nick's.
publish that.
I'm gonna unpublish it. I'll unpublish it. I can delete it. I don't want the editors publishing that because he's like, man, that's a bad picture of me. No, that's a great picture, man. It's just a little
It's
blurry.
just
So
old,
this
dude, for real. That's
this
so
is what the actual report would look like that Nick would got. These are real. So this report here is a real story on Nick or one of his listings, right? So it made it to
so
usanews.com.
this is here, scroll up for a second. So
Yep.
guys, I created a market snapshot for Montclair, New Jersey, which is my hometown. So I just told it to create um a market snapshot. Instead of writing something about a listing, I did a market update. So you could do these every month and just,
And look at how many places it got picked up, guys. How many pages is here? Looks like there's over
there's actually 1,011 websites all
that
over
picked
the
up the
US
story. Wow.
and Canada
Wow. So you're on
and Canada.
besthouses.com, toplistings.com, anyrealty.com, rentmagazine.com. Yeah. And like, how long did it take you to put this together? And now you're on 1,011 sites.
Yeah, I have analytics on it. I think it's been clicked on like 500 or 600 times,
And it only took you how long to put this together?
like minutes.
So you now have 600 potential new eyes and you're all these backlinks and all these placements all over Google and all over the internet. You can't really beat that because if I was going to pay Google for 600 clicks, that'd be $600.
Oh,
And this
easily.
story that, you could have the dang, service for over 6 months before
Yeah,
you
I
spend the
published two
600.
articles recently, and they've gotten almost 1,000 clicks. The more
And remember, the
articles,
better the story, right? And let's be honest, guys, and this is an attack on Nick. Like, it all goes back into what you're actually talking about, right? Like, there's
yeah,
obviously not too much of a demand for this type of
mm,
article, but
right.
if you had this crazy listing or like something that really would pop out on social media, it'd go even more and further
And
faster. Does that
also,
make sense?
Gallon, the more like the more with market stats like this, they're only relevant for a month or two. So after
Exactly.
a
So
couple
if you had
months,
a
they're going to
viral
drop off.
listing, though, man, that would just go
Oh yeah,
crazy
for days,
for
for days.
days. the better the listing, the more it's going to get hit. And,
Um,
people are searching for really cool
no, yeah,
properties and then
exactly.
they make it to
And
social
those
media.
last for, yeah. And what do you do if you don't have a listing? Guys, just ask an agent in your office if you can write a blog about it.
Yeah, or do a
They're going to
do a
say
blog or
yes.
story on yourself, even if you don't have one, just with the news update. Like, see how Kyler's here? This isn't about a listing. This is about him and what he plans to do in Houston in the market. And if you have a
Exactly.
closing, you do one on your closing, you get a listing, do one on someone on your team. But let's say that you're expanding or you're now offering service to rural areas or you're selling a different type of commercial lease. This is where you could update the world. And when they look you up, they're going to see this all over Google. That way, you don't need them to guess what you do and you sell. Your goal is to have them educated by the time they contact you. And this is the fastest way to do it because the AI writer can write it within seconds, and then by the end of the day, you're now published locally, nationally, and globally. Takes under 4 minutes to learn the entire system too. So, you need
Does
to learn.
anyone have?
Yep. Say it again, Nick.
Oh, it
Sorry.
took me like it just took me. It only took me a few minutes to learn how to use it. Does anybody have any questions in the chat about AI or about Viral Agent? We have a special, guys, going on right now. If you sign up, you'll get your first 14 days for $7, and you can write unlimited blogs, unlimited. So you can have that for 14 days and just continuously write. Like you can write 100 blogs if you want. After that, it's $97 a month, but it's unlimited, guys. Unlimited. There's no ceiling
if
on
if one of your
what you
blogs gets
could
you one
create.
listing a year, let's say worst case, paid for it tenfold, right? And
Oh,
whenever you
easily,
and you
easily.
can check on all your listings by just clicking here, and it'll show you how many views. You'll be able to download your report under each one of these categories. So it's not hard to go find your news story, your update, and then when it gets published, you'll get emailed notifying that it was published and the sites that it's making it to. Plus, you'll be able to see the sites in here, the view count, and download that report from your backend. So it's not hard to use. It's very easy to come in here, create a new listing within seconds, generate it, change out a couple pictures, throw in a couple links and contact information, and voila, you're now in the news.
Yeah. So Hal's asking, is it month to month or do you prepay? It's month to month, buddy. It's month to month, and the more blogs you create, the better. Think about how much it would cost you to hire a copy editor. Honestly, like,
Well, not just a copy editor, but
oh, someone to syndicate all of the blogs everywhere.
yeah, like just to do a press release, right, is going to cost $400 or $500. And this is virtually giving you unlimited press releases, media shout outs and endorsements, right? Like if I was going to go advertise in the Austin American Statesman, it's 2000 an article. This is going to put me on a lot more places than the Austin American Statesman guaranteed. And I look at it like this. Look at Nick's article, right? He said that he had well, 1,011 placements. Even if that was the only one Nick did, what's that divided by 97? How much are you paying per placement? 10 cents. So Nick's on 1,000 blogs at 10 cents a blog. And if he did 10 of those, then he's paying about a penny a blog, right? So you can't beat that. Like to get a story in like a Houston news site for a penny or 10 cents, it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
It's just a no-brainer.
Marilyn
And
has a great question. And I think maybe we didn't touch on
need
this.
to refresh.
How does Google choose which websites to place it in? Google doesn't choose. So USA News, which is the website that Gallant is the owner of, owns, I mean, partners with all of these different sites. So you're getting syndicated throughout the entire USA News um, syndication portal. Is that how it goes?
Yes, so we have a contract and we own and we work with thousands and hundreds of sites. And so every time you make a publish on, or you publish through Viral Agent, it gets automatically published if it's approved to hundreds of thousands of sites. So you don't have to worry about getting no placement or only being on one or two sites. We have a distribution agreement so that there's no delay, and then you get maximum penetration throughout Google SEO and the blog counts. Our goal is to get you every time you do a publishing minimum of 1,000.
And there's other questions. Is it considered paid advertising? I mean, you're paying for a platform, but you're not paying for
Yeah, here's the thing. It's
ads.
not going to say sponsored, right?
Okay,
So it
that's a
doesn't
big, yeah.
look bad, right? Like, this doesn't look like someone paid because it doesn't say anything. So it's not going to say ad on any of the articles, which is good because I don't like that. If I'm paying for a subscription and it's basically showing as an advertisement, this doesn't look like an advertisement, right? When you Google search Yvette Wolf and the second thing down is Austin's Top, there's nothing here that says, paid advertising.
Yeah, so
So
it's not, yeah, it's not sponsored. Okay, gotcha. She's asking very specific legal questions. For legal purposes, does the FCC consider it? I mean, I don't know how that works, but
I mean, I would, if there's anything that you're worried about publishing, you definitely could ask an attorney, but there's no laws outside of being
yeah,
deceptive, right? If everything you're saying is accurate, there shouldn't be any issues, but that's basically on the publisher. We can't go and vet every single agent's document, unfortunately,
yeah.
but they'll be the ones that end up in trouble, not, the company.
So Deborah is asking, are there examples of things to write about? Yeah, well, there's three topics that the platform gives you prompts to write about, whether it's a listing, a closing,
Or all other
or
updates.
viral news.
So let me
Yeah,
just
or
walk y'all
updates. So
through
like,
real quick. Let me
yeah, you
just give
go
her an
through these
example.
different ones.
So let's talk about news. All right, I'm a real estate agent. I now offer leases, right? I'm in the rental space. I'm gonna say Gallant Dill is now bringing his leasing experience to the Austin area. Let's say that I signed with a new brokerage. Gallant Dill is now with Keller Williams. Let's say that I left Keller Williams. Let's say I'm now with EXP. Let's say that I now am a broker. I now have a brokerage and I'm looking to hire more agents. I'm going to shout that out. Let's say that there's something going on in the community, an event. Say that you're going to be at that event. When people are Google searching, your story is going to come up. Let's say that you're bringing on new team members for specific stuff. Let's say that you're hiring for specific stuff. Let's say that you just want to put out some advice about buying in your area, some of the things to look for and some of the things not to look for. There's a million different types of examples that you can publish through just the viral news updates. Obviously, the viral closings could be a viral closing from your team member, yourself. Just, let's say you had a house and, just a normal house and it sold after 3 weeks. You should let the world know that. That way, when people in the future are looking up that house, they can see who sold it last. So that's an evergreen lead funnel for the rest of your life, right? You're now all over the news for that address for life. That's like owning a piece of virtual real estate right there. So if anyone has questions or if they like the house or they want to buy on that street or neighborhood, they're going to call you. And the same thing with the listing, right? Anytime you get a listing, you want it to be out of state, you want it to be local, you want it to be national, because there's people like me that are moving out of state often. And so you're going to be able to dominate the SEO and the search engines for these things, right? I drive by houses all the time and I Google search an address. It would be nice that I could actually contact the listing agent. I'm tired of going to Zillow myself and they give me someone who doesn't even know what house I'm talking about. That's why this is important, because if you Google search that address, these stories will come up and your contact information will come up first. And if you don't know what to blog about, you can always just go to Google and type in real estate or realtor blogging ideas, and then input those into the AI writer and it'll write it for you, right? So here's 100 different
Or
real estate blog ideas right here.
yeah, or go to ChatGPT and say, give me 10 things to blog about as a real estate agent.
Exactly. So
And it'll
it's,
give you 10
housing
ideas.
trends. You can like testimony, that's a great one, right? Like there's just so many things that you can write about in your general area. And you should be doing that every single day or every single week, getting your name out there and looking like the most credible and reputable person that's the most knowledgeable.
Yeah, so Melissa's asking if the subscriptions are canceled, can we still view the articles?
So here's the thing. That's a great question. So if you cancel the subscription, you will not be able to access or be a part of those articles. And the reason for that is because a lot of this takes bandwidth, right? We can't pay to host your news stories, track all your views if we're not getting money. So it's kind of one of those situations that you have to be able to pay for that information and for that data to be held on the site, because it's so cheap as is. We're not getting rich off of you doing 100 stories this month for $97, right? Like that's less than a penny an article. We still have a database, we still have a team, we still have agreements, we still have to pay for our license to even be able to stay on this site, right? Like this is a lot of data, a lot of bandwidth. So that $97 a month is basically your fee of, your membership. Because here's the thing, what we don't want happening, guys, is you're crushing it with your articles, your stories. Someone comes in, pays 97, copies everything you did, and then bounces. We want people that are serious, that want to keep getting results to stay with us. And this helps limit the people that are just going to come in and be cheap for a week and then bounce and just do 100 articles. We want to kind of form a partnership and eventually give certain real estate agents exclusivity in those areas so they don't have to worry about competition. And so it's kind of the first come, first serve for that. And so we want to make it easy and not expensive, right? But at the same time, we can't just give away a viral news story for $7 and then
Yeah.
never hear from someone again.
Yeah, makes sense. So Marilyn's asking, does it write the blogs in Spanish? That's a great question. I know ChatGPT can write things in Spanish, but I don't know if we can write something in Spanish on this platform.
Well, so what I would do is I'd just take the blog that it writes and then put it into a Spanish translator, and then you kind of read through it and fix it up and then
Okay.
publish it.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good idea. So what you can do is, yeah, write it in English, copy and paste it, put it into ChatGPT, which is the AI chatbot, and say translate this in Spanish or any other Google translator. So yeah, that's a good piece of advice. Awesome, guys. So listen, I'm gonna drop this. Oh, is there a lead flow? No. So this is the way. Hal, that's a great question. If the article is clicked on, does the lead go to my website? You can add links to your website in the
Yeah, you
blog.
just
You
put
can
your
put your
your link
website
in
at
the
the bottom. Yeah.
yeah, you can even put it throughout the article, or you could put any link you want. So whatever you want, you can have your phone number, your website, your landing page, anything you
Yeah.
want can be in your published in your article. And there's a lot more
Yeah.
information on everything
Yeah.
here.
So when you're filling it out, put your website in there where anywhere you want, and then when people click it, it'll definitely be property. For more information on this property, click here, have the link to where the property is. All of that stuff is customizable. You can do all of those things. I'm just gonna drop this link one more time, guys. $7 for 14 days. See if you like it. If you don't like it, no risk. Just cancel it. If you love it, keep it going. And I actually think showing this to a potential seller is huge, man. Like, hey, let me show you how your how your listing is going to go viral in over 1,000 different websites across the United
Yeah, it
States.
makes them feel good. Their
Huge.
house is on besthouses.com, top listings, any realty, Rent Magazine, USA News. Like it makes it feel to them that you're busting your butt to get their house sold, right? So it's a good look whenever
Yeah.
they see their house being advertised and they don't know you got it for, pennies on the dollar. They're thinking you published through these sites for tens of thousands and you're, spending a lot of marketing to make sure their house gets sold.
So Maryland's asking will it be post on Spanish speaking websites. So it's it's going to be posted on the USA News syndication platform.
So yeah,
So
so it's not
if
going to
there's
be
any
Spanish,
yeah.
but here's the thing, if people are looking up those addresses and typing in those words, they will still be placed, but predominantly this is English speaking websites throughout the United States.
Yeah, cool. Um, all right, awesome. Well, listen, Gallant, thank you so much. Appreciate you. And guys, I just dropped the link in the chat. Definitely give it a try. You know the Lab Coat Agents uh only promotes and partners with really great pieces of tech. We think this is a really great one. It's super simple, but it offers a lot of value. If you have any questions, you can email me, Nick Baldwin Realtor at gmail.com. And we will see you on the next one. We're going to do another one of these in a couple weeks, and we'll see you then. Gallant, thanks so much, buddy.
Thank you guys for having me. And like I said, if you need anything, you can always reach out to me or Nick. Appreciate you guys and I look forward to seeing you go viral in the news.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.